We have a lot to talk about as yet again today, coming out of a closed door meeting, we got some more secrets on what they're working on right now and what is likely going to be coming next week based on what they said. So as you noticed by the title, $2.5 trillion, yeah, coming next week. So that's exactly what I want to talk about, as well as some other changes that have happened here over the last couple days. A lot of things have been happening recently. If you haven't been watching the videos or if you haven't been watching the headlines, it's nuts with everything going on. It's like, it's everywhere. I mean, literally, when I'm doing research every day, it is like everywhere. The different things that are coming out, I have to sift through all the information to be like, okay, we're going to talk about like this and this in this video. And it's just like nuts. There's so much information that is hitting the wire. It is crazy out there, okay? Anyway, I want to bring this to your attention because we've known this for several months now, okay? This is not like a new thing that this was going to be coming, yet the details of what we're going to be getting here have been somewhat of a secret and still remain a secret, but we've known that this multi-trillion-dollar package is going to be coming. In fact, I've been saying this for a very long time. Since late last year and, the last handful of months of last year, 2024, I continued to come out and said, they're working on this right now, right? We didn't even know what was going to happen with the new administration at the time. We didn't know late last year. And then sure enough, they were working on it saying, in this scenario, we're going to work on this. And sure enough, that's what they're doing. And so they've been working on this thing for a while now. However, what am I talking about? The reconciliation bill. Does that sound like does that ring a bell a little bit? Yeah, exactly. Now here's the thing. I've talked about this before in one of the videos, the reconciliation bill. A lot of times I call it either the golden ticket or the wild card. Why? Well, if you ever play a card game, what's the one thing you want? You want a wild card, right? Because it like makes your odds of winning like significantly higher, right? So that's exactly what lawmakers have right now with full control on the Republican side. Now, I want to make it very clear, I am not here to take political sides or anything like that. I'm just sharing with you the reality of what is happening, what is going on right now, what they are working on, things like that. Okay, so I want to make that very clear. I'm not here sharing opinions on political standpoints, stuff like that. Not my style. I'm just here to bring you information and let you know what it means for us, our money, our benefits, our fixed income benefit, and everything else like that going forward, okay? But here's what they're talking about. Now, they've been mentioning multiple trillions of dollars. We didn't really have much. In fact, about a week, I don't know, week and a half ago, maybe 10 days or so ago, I was out in a separate video. Maybe it was longer than that. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I was out in a separate video. And at that time, there was some leaked information where they were suggesting between about $2 and $3 trillion. It's a huge range, $1 trillion range. Yeah, exactly. Well, now they've narrowed this thing down, okay? $2.5 trillion is the price tag of this thing that they are eyeing when it comes down to this reconciliation bill. Now, when I say reconciliation bill, I literally mean like a massive, massive package that contains virtually anything they want. There are some restrictions about what they can do, but they can do a lot of things within a reconciliation bill. Just in the last handful of years here, we've seen multiple reconciliation bills passed, and they've been huge price tag items. They've contained all kinds of things, expanded child tax credit payments. They've had stimulus checks within them. They've had all kinds of stuff. I mean, rental assistance, you name it, it's been in there, okay? My point is, they can add whatever they want into this. Now, also in a second here, I'm going to talk about something else that just came up a few days ago as well, that in my opinion is certainly something we need to continue watching very closely going forward. But more on that in a second, unless I forget about it. Hopefully I don't. Okay, I'll just kind of store that away in the back of my mind for a minute, and I'll revisit that here in a second. Okay, but anyway, this is what they're talking about. Okay, so right now the House of Representatives is apparently working on this $2.5 trillion reconciliation bill. Again, they had another closed-door meeting today, and they came out of that and they said, yeah, this is what we're looking at. Now, the House is supposed to bring this forward. However, here's the situation. The House is being a little slow, okay? They're being a little slow. The Senate is getting a little antsy, and they're getting a little agitated. So the plan is, according to Lindsey Graham as of today, that the Senate might be coming forward with their own $2.5 trillion proposal next week. So that is the plan that they're coming forward with, and they really want the House to bring this up first, but the House is just kind of sitting on their hands. They're not working fast enough. So the Senate's like, hey, we're going to come up with our own piece of legislation. It's going to be $2.5 trillion, and it's coming next week. Okay, that was fast. I mean, here's the thing. If you've been watching the videos here on the channel for at least the last, I don't know, 3-4 months, something like that, I've been saying exactly this. in the next handful of months, that's literally the verbiage that I've been using. In the next handful of months, we will see this multi-trillion-dollar package. Now, does it mean it's going to pass next week? No. Highly, highly, highly doubt it's going to pass next week, but the initial introduction of it will be likely next week, at least in the Senate, possibly in the House as well. Now, here's what's interesting about it. If the House and the Senate both come forward with their own plans, well, do you think they're going to match? Nope, they're not. Why? Representatives in the House are going to have a different plan than senators, obviously, in the Senate, right? So the plans will not match perfectly, but that might be interesting because they're likely going to have some different perspectives in there and some different provisions that could be very good, and they might, do some different things. So that may not be the worst thing to have two different sketches of this legislation. So that might be pretty good as well, okay? But here's the other thing that's interesting about it as well. We don't know fully what's going to be in this thing. There's some speculation that's out there. There's some talk about what may or likely be included in this, but we still don't really know. We don't know what the $2.5 trillion is going to include, okay? Let me put this into perspective for just a second here. Because you might be thinking, 2.5 trillion, that's not much. That's just chump change, right? Okay, maybe it is for some people, but for us, that's not chump change. That is massive. That's incredible. Okay, let me put this into perspective. Think back to early 2021, okay? March 11th, 2021. What did they do? They passed the American Rescue Plan. What was that? It was a reconciliation bill. How much did it cost? $1.9 trillion, okay? This is literally an example of it. What did they have in there? Everything plus the kitchen sink. I mean, literally, you name it, it was in there. $350 billion of handouts to states. What did states do with it? All kinds of stuff. They adopted all of these different guaranteed basic income programs. They had all these. Do you remember this back in the day, a few years ago? I talked about this at the time. It was nuts. They had so much money, they didn't even know what to do with it. They were having sweepstakes and raffles, and they were giving money out left and right like it was Halloween and it was candy. I mean, seriously, it was nuts at that time. States were clueless on what to do with all this money. They were just handed literally $350 billion from the federal government, and they didn't have a clue what to do. But the rule was you spend it or you give it back. I don't know. If somebody handed me a few $1 billion and said, here, you got 2 years to spend this or you have to give it back to me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to find a way to spend it. I mean, seriously, you know what I mean? States were in the exact same position. So they're like, should we give away, I don't know, a couple $100 million? Yeah, you should. And that's what they were doing. But anyway, so that was in the American Rescue Plan. There were $1,400 stimulus checks in there for 85% of the population. The expanded and advanced child tax credit payments were in there. Rental assistance was in there. You name it. Again, it was all within there. My point is, that was $1.9 trillion in the American Rescue Plan we're coming up on 4 years ago. Again, it was passed on March 11th, 2021, okay? My point is, that was $1.9 trillion. This one we're talking about now, that's going to be introduced next week, $2.5 trillion, an extra $600 billion. It's a lot of money. That's massive, okay? So let me put that into perspective as well. Okay, just think of this really fast, okay? This video is not all about stimulus, so I was going to make that very clear. I'm just, again, putting it into perspective so we can all understand how big these numbers really are. The 3 stimulus checks that we received in 2020, there's 2 there, 1,200 and 1,600, and 1,400 in 2021. Those 3 checks alone for 85% of the population cost about $850 billion. So they're literally adding into this reconciliation bill that's going to be introduced next week an extra $600 billion, nearly the same dollar amount. I mean, obviously it's a $250 billion difference, but nearly the same amount as what cost the stimulus checks a few years ago, okay? It's an incredible amount of money. If you're not sure, just trust me. $600 billion is a huge amount of money. If you want a little exercise, write it down. Pull out a pen, try to write it down. I bet you'll miss a comma. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. Okay, anyway, you get the point. All right, so that is the situation, is that we're waiting on this, and I'm excited to dig through this to see what exactly is going to be encompassed within this. Remember this as well. Okay, they introduce it. Maybe they pass it through the Senate or they pass it through the House. Cool, that's awesome. But guess what? When it goes to the other chamber for passing and voting, what do they usually do? Amendments. Yes, amendments. They usually add things in. There's lawmakers from the other chamber that says, no, I want this in there. I want this other thing in there. You didn't add this. You didn't do that. And then they amend it and they usually add more, okay? So that's a pretty cool thing that's out there. All right, so that is, a huge price tag, a huge piece of legislation. We've known that this is coming. Honestly, it's coming a little sooner than I thought. I was guessing, my predictions have been, I've been saying this back since like November and December. I've been saying within the next like 6 months. Well, that was, back in November and December. So that was what, what is this? Early February, yeah, like 2.5 months ago or so. I've been saying this. So, I mean, technically, we'd be down to about 4 months, 3.5 months. So, I mean, it's coming like soon here. Now, don't get me wrong, it could take some time to pass this thing. It could take several weeks. It could take a few months to pass this, but nonetheless, it's coming fast, right? So this is, as you probably heard them say before, they want one big, beautiful package. Literally the words that they've said, okay? That's not me just trying to be funny. That's literally the words that they've said. They want one big, beautiful package. I don't know if they're going to do that, but that's just what they've said. So I don't know. I guess I would frame that a little bit differently, but that's just how I would do it. Okay, that's what I think I wanted to say about that, okay? More on that as I get more information. And again, this was just information released out of the closed door meeting today, and we'll have to see what is included within this. Now, really quickly, I want to talk about the tariffs. A few days ago, I was out in a separate live stream. I think it was was that on Sunday? I think it was on Sunday that I was in the live stream. I don't know for sure. I could be off by a day or two. I don't know. I think it was on Sunday evening. I was out in a live stream. Anyway, they enacted tariffs over the weekend, right? 25% tariff on Canada, 25% tariff on Mexico, 10% tariff on China. And I was out in that live stream and I was saying, hey, let's just kind of watch this. I wouldn't be shocked one bit if this is just a negotiating tactic where he's basically saying, hey, we're going to slap you with a big old tariff. And yeah, right? But this is a really great negotiating tactic. Well, then, like 24 hours after they were imposed, Canada came forward and said, we got a 30-day reprieve. They're going to delay by 30 days. Okay, well then guess what happened? Mexico, same thing, sent a bunch of their troops to the border to protect the southern border on our behalf, and they delayed the 25% tariff on Mexico by 1 month as well, okay? So kind of a bluff. I mean, literally kind of a bluff. Now they pushed it out 30 days, fine. It's still out there looming, but again, I don't think they're really going to happen at this point. And that's what I said over the weekend as well. I said, I really think this is just a negotiation tactic, and we'll see how long it actually sticks. It's stuck for like 24, maybe 48 hours. It was like very muted. It like didn't really even do anything. In fact, they didn't even go into effect. They were supposed to go into effect yesterday morning, Tuesday morning. Today is Wednesday evening as I'm hosting this live stream right now. So they were supposed to go into effect yesterday morning. They didn't even go into effect because they were halted and delayed before they even went into effect, okay? But here's what I want to say about this. Okay, so do we agree that the economy over the last, I don't know, 4 years plus has been pretty tough? Prices are rising. Inflation's been ripping our face off for the last couple of years. We have no money left. All of our savings has been siphoned away. That's their plan, by the way. That's where they want us to be. Down and out, miserable, and suffering. That's literally what they want us to do, is because then they have all the control. I mean, literally, look at it. It's obvious where they want us to be. They want us to be in this state of desperation because who has the power when there's desperation? Not I. Yeah, exactly, right? So anyway, inflation's going crazy. Prices have risen rapidly. We haven't really seen any reprieve on prices at stores. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Egg prices are crazy high right now, which, by the way, did you see this? I just saw this today. Apparently someone jacked 100,000 eggs in Philadelphia. Did you see that today? I just saw a headline that came across like this afternoon. I was like, wow, like what is this world coming to? That somebody's stealing 100,000 eggs. I mean, really? Really? We're stealing eggs now? Seriously? That's nuts, okay? You know the world is super jacked up when you've got to steal eggs. I mean, seriously, it's a real thing. Look it up. I mean, I literally just got a headline across today, and I thought, wow, this is a sad time right now if we've got to steal 100,000 eggs. And I guess I kind of laughed when I saw the headline. I was like, so what's this person going to do? Are they going to like set up a hut on the side of the road with some plywood and be like, eggs for sale? What are you going to do? I mean, you got to have a huge refrigerator to store that. You certainly can't eat all those. What are you going to do with them, right? They're perishable. They're only good for maybe a couple of weeks at most. I mean, not the best plan in my opinion. I certainly wouldn't do that. But anyway, I digress. I apologize. Okay, so anyway, the tariffs. Let's get back to that really quickly here, and then I'm going to jump into the chat box, and we'll talk there for a little while. Okay, so the tariffs. Yep, they're out there. They're still being delayed at this time, out until early March-ish time is when they're going to be imposed, if at all. But my point is this much: if the tariffs really do come in, if we really do see these enacted, and they're really coming in full force, guess what this is going to do to the economy? Yeah, crash and burn, right? It's like riding on our bike. Whoops, hit a pothole. There go down. There we go, and scuff up our knees, right? Remember those days? Yeah, not a fun time. Been there, done that way too many times. But anyway, it's kind of what's going to happen to the economy. These tariffs, if they really do come in and if they are actually imposed, is really going to whack this economy. And as you've been hearing me say for a long time now, if we want change, if we want inflation to come down, if we want the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates aggressively, if we want prices to come down at the stores, if we want better supply chain, as in things that are frequently available to us and prices on those items coming down, if we want all of this, oh, not to mention additional stimulus, right? If we want any of that stuff, which I think all of us could probably raise our hand and say, yeah, I'll take some lower interest rates from the Fed. I'll take some lower prices at the store. I'll take a stimulus check or two or three or five, right? I'll take those. We'll take anything they can give us right now. Unless we get a massive reset on the economy called a recession, unless we get that, we're not going to see any change in this economy. None. We're going to see the same thing. But in my honest opinion, I do believe that these tariffs, if enacted, will be the catalyst that will crash and burn this economy. It will happen. Why? Well, okay, let's just talk about it really, really fast here. I don't want to drag this video out forever. But what would that actually be? The tariffs are a tax on imports, literally what it is, right? So you want to import a bunch of stuff into our country? Cool, pay the tax. That's literally what it is. It's called a tariff, but it's actually a tax, and it's paid to the federal government, okay? So anyway, what happens is that they collect all of this. So there's a couple different options here. Either the person importing can eat all of that and say, oh man, this blows. I'm just going to eat that. And I'm going to leave my prices where they are. I'm just going to eat the tariff. I'm going to pay the higher price, and I'll just keep my prices where they are. Yeah, right. We know better than that. That's not how the world works. They're going to jack up the prices and pass it on to who? You and me, the consumer. The end consumer is the one that's going to pay for that. Do you think that's going to be inflationary? Yep, for sure it is. Do you think that's going to be the recipe for higher prices? Yep, sure is. Do you think that's going to lead to the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates anytime soon? Nope. Not a chance. Why would they? They're not. In fact, they're probably going to continue raising interest rates if that's the case, okay? So this will be it. Again, this is my opinion. I could be totally wrong on this. But if the tariffs are enacted, and again, that's the key word that I'm talking about right here is if the tariffs are actually enacted and they're actually brought in, if that's the case and they are left to stay for at least a meaningful amount of time, not like 24 hours or 48 hours or 14 days. I'm not talking about that. If the tariffs come in and they stick for like a month or 2 or 3 or 5 or 6, if that's the case, we will see some massive impacts. It will be felt across the entire country, because these businesses that are importing are not going to eat that extra cost. They're going to pass it on to us. And when we go to the store and see, oh, now we're looking at, I don't know, just take your pick, whatever type of item is on the shelf. Hey, look at this widget. A month ago, it was, I don't know, $10. Oh, look at this. It's $12 now. Oh, look at this widget over here. It was $22 last week or last month, and now it's $26.50. You know what I mean? We're going to say, I'm good. I'll pass. Yeah, exactly. And that's the situation. It's not just going to be us here in this community. It's going to be everybody. When we contract like that financially and when we cut back on our spending, the whole economy feels it, right? Anyway, I could sit here for hours rambling on about this. It is just interesting to watch all this, and everything is so highly correlated. I mean, we've been teetering on this cliff for a long time now, and in my opinion, the tariffs, if enacted, again, if is the key word that we need to watch here, if enacted, I think this is going to be the proverbial little finger that pokes us right off the edge. Yoink, there you go, down, right? So anyway, I will continue to keep you posted on this, but this is going to be very eventful for the next week and a half or so now, as we continue to watch this $2.5 trillion reconciliation bill take shape. What does the House introduce? What does the Senate introduce? And what does it look like inside? That's the exciting part. We don't really know yet. There's only speculation out there right now, but we're going to know here very soon, and that's going to be pretty exciting. Remember, they can add anything that they want. If we happen to fall into a massive recession before they pass a reconciliation bill, if they just so wanted to, they could plop some stimulus in there. They could add some checks in there. They could do whatever they want to it. They literally can do that. No problem whatsoever. They can. They've done it before. Okay. All right. So anyway, I think I'm done rambling for a while. Unless you want me to keep going, I could literally sit here for hours talking about this stuff. There's just so much going on right now and so many different intricate details, which is honestly why I want to jump on a live stream with you sometimes like this, because if I made a video, just like a standalone video, it'd be a very long video. So I thought, let's just jump on a live stream, then I can answer your questions as well. All right, so anyway, I'm going to jump into the chat now. I'll spend some time here, answer your questions. Whatever you've got a question about, feel free to stick it down below, and I'll do what I can to answer those for you. Okay, here I go. It's going to take me a second to get into it, so I appreciate your patience. Thank you for being here. And let's open it up. Okay. By the way, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Totally free to do so. There's a subscribe button, I don't know, around the video somewhere. Make sure to hit that. Thank you. I really, really appreciate your support. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to advocate and represent you. Thank you for your continued trust here in the community with me and this content and everything that I'm delivering to you every single day in these videos. Truly means the world to me. Thank you. Really, like, seriously, thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm still pulling up this this here thingy. Call the live or call the video chat. Okay. By the way, hang on. Okay. Here we go. By the way, quick side note, I've had some people reach out down below in the comment section and they're like, hey, you talk too much. If you met me in person, I am very introverted, like awkwardly introverted in person. Like I don't really talk much at all in person. It's like awkwardly weird. I know, seriously. Because I've had people say like, you talk like a ton. I'm like, the only words I say in a day are in videos. Like the rest of the time I like don't really talk at all. I'm just like, I just like to observe and listen. That's like my life. So anyway, kind of interesting. But then in these videos, I'm just a blabbermouth. I don't know. Something seems alarming about that, right? I'm pretty sure there's a diagnosis for that. I don't know. Maybe there is. That's okay. I already have a couple in my life, so add a couple more to the list, not a problem. I'll take them. Let's see. How do I get... Hang on a second. Sorry, here we are. Finally in the chat. I apologize about that. I know I'm very slow. Teresa Dara. Hey, thank you, Teresa. Nice to see you. I see you there. Thanks for watching. So great to see you as well. Thank you, Teresa. Yep. Yeah, TLC Carol. Awesome. Hey, so great to see you as well. Yeah, thanks for joining. So awesome to have you here. I really, really appreciate it. Did you say $8 a dozen for eggs? That's nuts. Crazy. Oh, yeah, you did. I paid $8 a dozen. Wow. That's nuts. Wow. Who wants to go into a little business venture? Should we buy some chickens? I mean, it's not much of a business venture, but I mean, I guess it is if you do it at scale. Yeah. Shell Balestra. Hey, thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, thank you. KCAK, I think it is. Your name there, KCAK. Sorry, I have a hard time saying that apparently. You're saying something about you only got the 1 and 2 stimulus checks, the first and second stimulus check. Yeah, if you did not get the third stimulus check, you literally have about 2 months to get it before it's gone. Before it's gone, literally gone. Okay, you have until April 15th to claim it, to claim the $1,400 stimulus check, the third one if you did not get it, okay? I will have some videos out when we get closer to that, announcing that deadline again, so just stay tuned. That's a long time out from now. But as we get closer, I will have another reminder video at that time. But yes, you have until April 15th. The only way you can get it, according to the IRS, is by filing a tax return and claiming the RRC, Recovery Rebate Credit. It's the only way you can get it these days, okay? By the way, nope, it's not tax advice. It's not accounting advice. I am not your CPA. I am not your accountant. Got to throw that disclaimer out there, okay? So I don't know your situation. Okay, just want to throw that out there. Yep. Alan Barker, is it Alan Barker? Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the nice message. That's very, very kind of you. Charlie Vogler, is it? Hey, Charlie, thanks for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Um, Basically, just talking about this massive reconciliation bill that they're going to be introducing next week with a price tag of $2.5 trillion. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what happens here. I talked about all the details in the first, like, I don't know, probably 12, 15 minutes. I was rambling for quite a while. Check that first, maybe like 10 minutes out. I talked about it there. Yeah, that's just what it is. Nice. Oh, wait. Diana Hagen. Hey, Diana Hagen. I see you there. Thanks for watching as well. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much for the message. Yeah, Susan Ryan. Hello, Susan Ryan. Yes, thank you so much for being here as well. I really, really appreciate that. Hey, quick side note. I just want to throw this out there really, really quickly as well. But I know that some of you recently have been reaching out to me in regards to Medicare, Medicare supplement plans, Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare Part D plans, things like this. I've had a couple videos out recently talking about Medicare. Here's the situation. My parents recently applied for Medicare. It was an absolute nightmare. I didn't realize it was going to be such a headache. Seriously, they were calling me constantly every time I saw them. Hey, Matt, we've got a list of Medicare questions. Are you ready? I'm like, sure, let's go. Let's talk about it. It was an absolute nightmare. After going through that with my parents, I thought, I don't ever want to see anybody deal with this. Why is it so confusing? Have you been through this? So confusing. A million plans that are out there. It is nuts to see what is happening here. Anyway, because of that, I partnered with Chapter Medicare, okay? The leading Medicare brokerage in the United States. They're awesome. I mean, seriously, they have access to over 24,000 plans across the entire country, and they will work right with you, with your own personal situation, to find you the providers that you want, to help you get the prescription coverages that you need, your personal preferences, and get you the right plan, not just some random plan off the shelf and being like, here, I think this is a good one. No, they will find the perfect plan for you, and get this, they save the average senior $1,100 a year by choosing the right plan. That's serious money that a lot of people really, really, really need right now, okay? Anyway, I love what they're doing out there. This is seriously what people need. I wish I would have known about them when my parents were going through this several months ago, because I certainly would have had my parents call them, connect with an agent, and actually go through that process, because they get the right plan. And I guarantee you right now, my parents are on the wrong plan. I 100% guarantee you that they are, and that's not a good situation, right? So anyway, there's a phone number down below. I think at the top of the comment section or something like that, there's a phone number there. If you call them, it's an exclusive phone number for all of you here in this community. You call them there. It's 100% free, no obligation consultation. They'll go through your situation and they'll find you the plan. And you can say, sure, that sounds awesome, or not, whatever. But I mean, they can look into it. Super awesome stuff. Otherwise, if you don't see the phone number I can give you, but it's 1-844-731-4987. Again, 1-844-731-4987. Okay. Again, 1-844-731-4987. Okay. Anyway, they have been hooking some people up here in this community over the last couple of days. I've been getting some awesome feedback on this. So many people are saving money. I mean, obviously for privacy reasons, I can't give people's names, but I've had people reaching out to me and being like, I did this. They're saving me hundreds of dollars this year because I'm getting the right plan. That's super awesome. You're getting the right coverage and savings of hundreds of dollars. That's like bingo right there. I mean, that is Yahtzee. That is bingo. That is cha-ching, whatever you want to say, right? That's what I love. I love a discount and I love saving money. That is like my jam in life. So anyway, check that out if you want to. Again, I gave you the phone number there. Otherwise, down below there's a comment there with a link to the website and the phone number as well. I mean, seriously, awesome. I'm so happy to see that some of you are saving money with this. Like, that makes me super, super happy. Yeah, I just, like, what a mess with my parents going through that. I mean, wow. Yeah, Shell Balestra. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Again, you're awesome. Thank you. Stay tuned. Arthur Allen just paid $6.60 for a dozen eggs today. Wow, that's crazy. What does that divide out to be? 50 cents? I think it's 50 cents an egg, a little more than 50 cents. It's 55 cents. Yeah, my mental math, if that's correct, 55 cents an egg. That's nuts. Do you remember when you could buy a dozen eggs for like 89 cents, right? I bet you one thing these days, those little punk kids out there probably aren't egging houses anymore. You know what I mean? Too expensive. That's actually a good thing. I mean, that's like, honestly, that's like the only good thing that has come out of higher egg prices. Little punk kids are not egging houses and cars. That's good. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Thomas Tommy. Yeah, that's a good point. But the other countries won't buy our products. That's an interesting point. Yeah, exactly. Again, let's see how this whole thing transpires. It's going to be pretty interesting to watch this play out. Magic Done. Magic Done. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. By the way, love your name. That's really cool. Yeah, it just has a really nice ring to it. I really like that. But yeah, Magic Done. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Yeah, Shell Balestra waving her hands all around. Thank you. Appreciate it, Shell. Yes. Tony Reville. Tony Reville. Hey, if I'm saying your last name incorrectly, I apologize about that. But hey, I see you there as well. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Nice to see you, Tony. Oh, nice. Derek Farron just bought 18 eggs for under $6. Not bad. It's about $4 a dozen. That's a, I mean, it's kind of like the going price right now on eggs. Yeah. Is it James L. Cataline, maybe? James, I apologize. If I'm saying your last name incorrectly, I apologize about that. But this is super cool. You said I get free eggs from my Amish neighbor. That's super cool. That's awesome. Oh, they're probably like organic, like what's that called? Free range? Yeah, free range chickens as well. I'm guessing they're just like running around the yard. That's awesome. That's super cool. Yeah. Yeah, Susan Ryan. Yep, about the 100,000 eggs. That's sad and weird and like kind of pathetic. That's what. Yeah. Yes, Play to Win, 1958. Please write a letter to the administration about SS relief. Certainly do that for you. Instead, just right over there on the desk, I have a pile of letters that I've drafted and sent over the last couple years, 3-4 years or so. I've drafted a handful of letters, and we've sent those out. Doesn't hurt to send more. I mean, seriously, right? The squeaky wheel gets the oil. I mean, seriously, if we're just buzzing along and acting like all is well, they're not going to do anything. Why would they? They act like they think that we're fine. But if we keep squeaking, if we keep making a big deal, that's kind of the strategy you have to go with, right? Exactly. Mitchie Coco Washington, is it? Mitchie Coco Washington. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Nice to have you. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate your presence. Diana Hayden also requesting a letter. Awesome. I like this. Diana Hayden and Play to Win 1958. Again, requesting some letters to the administration. Like it. Consider it done. I will do that, okay? It's going to take me a little bit of time. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty good writer. I mean, what's kind of interesting about that is I literally failed my way through English in high school, and I don't know how I turned out to be like pretty decent at writing. I mean, I don't want to sit here and like pat myself on the back, but I feel like I write pretty well considering I like failed every single English class in high school. It was really bad. Is it Cynthia A. Ranking? Cynthia A. Ranking, I think it is. Hey, Cynthia, I apologize if I'm saying your last name incorrectly, but hey, I see you there as well. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate you. Thanks for being part of the community. Nicole Harp, yes, exactly. I agree with you. Yes, basically, bless all of us, please. Yeah, exactly, Nicole. Exactly. Okay. I'm going to go back down to the bottom of the chat here. We'll spend a little bit more time here. And again, that phone number that I mentioned earlier, if you want your free consultation, again, to check into Medicare plans and save you a whole boatload of money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, or like the average senior, $1,100 for the entire year is their average senior savings. Not bad, right? Exactly why I partnered with them. But again, if you want that phone number, totally free. You can call them 1-844-731-4987. Again, 1-844-731-4987. And again, down below in the chat box, there should be a comment there pinned with the phone number and a website there if you want to check that out. Again, totally free to do so. Love free stuff. Yeah, free to get that consultation. Okay, I'm going to go back down to the bottom of the chat, like I said, and we'll spend a little bit more time here, and then we'll probably wrap this up. I don't want it to get too long, which literally happens every single time, but that's okay. No problem whatsoever. I don't mind. Yeah, okay. I like it. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Starts with a T. But you basically said that if we get enough people in enough states to send petitions and get signatures, that we could possibly convince them to increase monthly benefit checks. I think at some point there is a threshold for that. What is the threshold? I don't know. But my point is, yes, that's kind of how it works, right? If we have enough people basically coming on board and saying, hey, hello, have you seen our personal situation? Have you seen the finances of the fixed income, seniors, people with disabilities, people living on a Social Security benefit? Have you seen how these people are living? Have you seen how tough it's been lately? Have you seen how pathetic the COLAs are the last few years? Yeah, exactly. We could probably build a pretty strong case for that. Honestly, it wouldn't be that hard to do. It literally would not be very hard to do to paint a very clear picture of the massive financial struggle for these individuals. I mean, all of the people here in this community, I get it. We're all here together. That's why we talk about this. It would not be hard to paint a very clear picture and give some real life examples of what we've been going through for the last several years here. Yeah, it would be actually probably a pretty solid pitch to do that. Yeah, love the idea. Yeah, Shirley Kirby, yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate you. And hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. You've been around for years. Thank you, Shirley. Nice to have you here. Denny Kidd, talking about stimulus. What are the chances of additional stimulus? Again, let's continue to watch this. I talked about that earlier in this video as well. But I really do believe, okay, and again, this is just me throwing my opinion out there based on what's going on right now. We've seen this economy not doing very good. We've seen some very bad economic data coming out. And again, remember, stimulus is predicated on the economy every single time, okay? It's not about how much we ask, how much we beg. It's about the economy, okay? But anyway, and we also got these tariffs that are being enacted. That, in my opinion, is likely the catalyst that pushes us off the cliff, okay? So let's just stay tuned here. I know we've been patient for a couple of years now, or I shouldn't even say a few years now we've been patient. Let's just see. I feel like we're getting close, right? So, yeah. Claude, I see your message there. Interesting. Yeah, thanks for sharing that information. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, glad that came through for him as well. Zurica? I apologize. I know I'm saying that wrong. Zurica, I think it is. I apologize if I'm saying your name incorrectly. I'm really sorry about that. But I think it's Zurica. You just joined the membership club. That's awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Definitely not necessary. I mean, you certainly don't need to do that, but I really appreciate it. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. Diana Hagan. Yeah, you're very welcome, Diana. Thank you as well. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Zurica Kate, I think it is. Again, I know I'm saying your name incorrectly. I apologize about that. But yeah, thank you so much again for the nice message. So glad that you enjoy these videos and find them to be valuable. Again, that's why I want to give you this information every single day. There's just so much that is coming out. It's nuts. It's nuts how much is coming out right now. There's just so many things that have happened in the last couple weeks here, and it's only going to get, well, I shouldn't say get more busy. I mean, I don't know how it really could. It's just going to continue to be like this day after day, week after week. This is not going away anytime soon. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out literally all the time. Yeah, Judy Clark, again, thank you so much. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Judy Clark. Really appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Scooter Man. Hey, nice to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining, Scooter Man. Yeah, you're awesome. Thanks for being here. Teresa Dara. Yeah, if you go to a farmer's market, eggs will be cheaper. It's a good point. And they're probably, like I said earlier, probably like organic or free range chicken eggs. I don't know. Those seem to be preferred. At least the grocery store thinks so. Have you seen the prices on those ones? They're crazy high. I wouldn't, well, okay, I'm going to say this much. I'm just going to show how I shop. Not saying that you should do this, but I would never buy that. I would never buy organic or free range chicken eggs. Why? They're too expensive for me. I don't want to spend that kind of money on eggs, right? I'm very cheap, frugal, whatever you want to call it, but that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind that, and I have no problem admitting it either. I'm just saying, I'm good with just the whatever kind, the cheap ones. That's all I ever want. Just give me the cheap stuff. You know what I mean? Samantha Brooks. Hey, Samantha Brooks. I see you there as well with your hand up. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the community. Yeah, awesome. Abraham Garcia. That's so cool. Yeah, thank you so much for reaching out with that. You said that you're on SSI and you enjoy when I talk about SSI. Again, exactly. That's why I talk about it in these videos and I rattle off the list of beneficiaries that I often refer to and talk about because I want all of you to know, hey, you're not being left out in this video, right? I go through the list. You know it. Should I say it? Yeah. Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivor, spousal, SSI, VA beneficiaries. I say that in almost every single video. Why? Because if I don't say that, I see all kinds of questions that come in and say, does this pertain to SSDI? Does this pertain to SSI? What about retirees? Well, that's why I like to say it so that we're all on the same page. Hey, you're covered in this, right? So, yes, anyway, I'm here for you, here to represent for you, advocate for you, whatever I possibly can. Thank you for being part of the community. Exactly. Beverly, my electrical bill went from $70 a month to $127. That's crazy. That's $57 more per month. And on a percentage basis, that's like, what is that? It's like 80%? Is that 80%? Yeah, it's about 80%, roughly. That's crazy. Wow. Nuts. Michael Jackson here. Hey, Michael Jackson, nice to have you here. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your continued support. As always, nice to see you. Samantha Mallory, waving your hands all around. Thanks, Samantha. Really appreciate you as well. Thanks for being here. Joe Anders, checking in. Joe Anders, hey, nice to see you as always, too. You've been around a long time. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Joe Anders. Yeah, nice to have you here. Yeah. Teresa, what is it? Yeah, Dara, sorry. I want to make sure it was Dara, not Gara. Anyway, sorry, Teresa, Dara. Yeah, you're you're funny. Yeah, that's awesome. Is it Claude Nickerson? Claude Nickerson, I think it is. Hey, if I'm saying that incorrectly, I apologize. But yeah, I see your messages there. Thank you so much for reaching out and being part of the community. Again, really appreciate it. Ariel, is it Ariel? I see what your uncle did. I don't know if you want to do that, right? I mean, some people are more brave than me. I would never do that, but it sounds like your uncle's pretty brave. That's funny. Good question. Mo3 is asking, how much for a Cadbury egg? I don't know. I have no idea. I bet those suckers are $1 a piece, 89 cents a piece. I bet they're I bet they're right around $1 a piece now. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I have no idea, but I doubt that they're very cheap. Good question, Mo3. I like it. Nice. Exactly. TLC Carol. Awesome. You're getting a $352 card that you get to use. I think you said from United Healthcare. Exactly. Awesome. This is so perfect right here. This is what I talk about. I mean, I mention this stuff all the time, but this is so awesome. TLC Carol, right here in this message, is saying exactly this. You get a $352 card from United Healthcare that you get to use on whatever. It's a debit card, right? I mean, it's literally a debit card. You get it worth $352. You can use it on whatever you want, and you kind of rattle off some of the different things that you spend that money on. I mean, seriously, that's like a couple months worth of utility bills. That's like a month or more of groceries. I mean, that's a lot of stuff you can use that card for. That is so awesome. So you're basically saying, yes, anybody that has Medicare that does not have some kind of card like this, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. There are so many people that have the wrong plan. You wouldn't believe it. 90% of seniors have the wrong Medicare plan. It's nuts. If you look at the statistics behind this, and that's why I said earlier, I guarantee you 100%, my parents are on the wrong plan. I know I've talked about my parents a couple times because I literally just helped them go through this just a handful of months ago, and it was an absolute nightmare. My dad was going to seminars all the time. He's calling me constantly. Every time I see him, hey, I got a list of questions again about Medicare. And then my mom went through the situation. It was just like, why is this so confusing? I literally kept saying that all the time. Why is this so confusing? Why is it not more straightforward? Again, after going through that situation, I was like, okay, I got to figure something out here. I need to do something to share this with the community here, and exactly why I partner with Chapter. Again, the leading Medicare brokerage in the United States, and they will find a plan specific for you that meets your needs, not just pulling some random, plan off the shelf and saying, here, take this one, it'll be good. No, we don't want good enough. We want perfect, that gives you access to the providers you want, your prescription needs, things like that. And like TLC Carol is saying here, you never know. Maybe you get a little kicker out of the deal too with some kind of prepaid debit card like TLC Carol situation, $352. It's awesome. That's super cool. I mean, that's a decent amount of money. For a lot of people, that's like half of their monthly benefit amount that they get right there in a stipend because of your health care. Again, the power of having the right plan. That is so cool, right? Anyway, make sure to get your free consultation. Again, the phone number, 1-844-731-4987. Check that out. Seriously, there's a down below in the description of this video, there's the phone number there, links to their website. At the top of the chat box, there's a pinned comment there, phone number, and a link to the website as well. Seriously, so important. Anyway, let's leave it at that for now. Again, TLC Carol, thank you so much for sharing that information. That is so powerful and reiterates exactly what I've been saying. You got to get the right plan. So important. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I know I've referred to my parents a couple times so far in this video, but after seeing their struggles with all of this, oh my gosh, I don't want to have anybody here in this community go through this, okay? What a freaking mess. So anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication. It's my promise. It's my commitment to you. I've said this literally for years. I've been here every single day with you for the last 5 years? No, 4.5 years to be fair. Every single day. 4.5 years. Rain or shine, whether I feel good or not, whether it's a holiday or not, I don't really care. My top priority when I wake up every single day to be right here for you, no matter what's happening and no matter what I have going on that day, I will make time in my schedule to be right here for you, no matter what. It's my promise, and I'm sticking to it. And I feel like right now, if you look back at my track record, I feel like I've been pretty good about maintaining that promise. I mean, I have not broken that in literally 4.5 years since I made the commitment back in basically mid-2020 when this whole thing kind of got really crazy going on. Anyway, let's leave it at that. Again, I can jump on another live stream at some point. It does not matter. I can come back 5 times a day if you want me to and talk about all this. It doesn't matter. I have the time for you, and that's what I'm here for, okay? Thank you so much for joining me in this live stream. Again, please make sure to subscribe. Totally free to do so. Share the video if you'd like to. There's a share button down below somewhere as well. Again, subscribe if you're new or if you have not done so yet to the channel. Again, subscribe button around somewhere. Otherwise, make sure to take advantage of your free consultation. I've talked about it a few times with the partner here, Chapter Medicare, the leading brokerage in the entire United States. I gave you that phone number, again, down below in the description at the top of the comment section. It's there. In the chat box, it's there as well. Awesome. They will hook you up and you will be shocked how much money they can help save you. Good stuff. All right, anyway, please have a nice night. I'm going to continue watching everything very closely. Stay tuned. There's more information coming out that I need to share with you more. Are you surprised? Yeah, I bet you're not, because it's just a weird time right now. Anyway, please have a nice evening. That's all that literally matters right now. Please stay safe. Have a nice night. Be happy. I'm here for you. You're awesome. Let me know what I can do for you. Please. There's no limit on it, okay? I will do what I can within the confines of the law. I'm not going to break the law. It's not my style, okay? Not today anyway. Probably not tomorrow. But all I'm saying is that I will do whatever I can, and there's not really limitations on that. Anyway, please have a nice night, and I'll catch you again later. Oh, by the way, quick side note, if I missed your comment in the chat, I apologize. I certainly do not do that on purpose. I try to do my best to get through as many as I possibly can, okay? So if I missed you, please do not take it personally. We will be back on another live stream very, very soon. Again, thank you so much for being here. I will see you again soon. All right, I'm going to unplug this thingy, call the microphone, and then I'm going to push some buttons. Call this one. Yep. All right, have a good night.